these emails, text messages, and what you see along those lines?
So Joey has a case now before the Supreme Court, and it's really an important issue. Any governing body, sometimes it's a little hard to figure out what that is, but any governing body that has a meeting has to have that meeting open to the public. Then they can go into executive session for certain things like hiring decisions, where they talk about people's employment records, that kind of thing. But other than that, the meeting has to be open to the public. In fact, when they go into an executive session, they're not allowed to vote in executive session. They often don't know this, and they often make this mistake. And I don't fault them for that, but some education is necessary. They have to come out of the meeting and then vote on whatever the issue is in public. So you know how they voted individually. And so, what makes for a meeting? Well, of course, when they all get together and have their monthly meeting, that's a meeting. We just saw in the Democrat Gazette that the Little Rock Housing Authority had some meetings and they didn't hold them open. And the Democrat Gazette wrote some good stories about how they violated the FOIA. And so we know that that was a meeting and we know it wasn't open. But what happens if they meet before the meeting? And what does it mean to meet before the meeting? So if I text you, and you text him, and he texts her, is that a meeting? The short of it is yes, that is a meeting. And so they're not allowed to do that because that's not open. It can't be open. Unless, like, there's no way to have an open text exchange. You can have electronic meetings, like this meeting is electronic. You know, you can air a meeting over Facebook with participants in different locations. So everyone doesn't need to be in the same room at the same time. But it needs to be available to the public. And obviously, if individual members are texting each other, then that's not open to the public. Yes, sir?
Can you say available to the public, you mean immediately, in real time, or within a reasonable time?
An open meeting needs to be open in real time. You need to be able to attend and observe that meeting in real time. Attendance can be electronic, but you need to be able to attend in real time.
And the reason I ask,
yes,
and I agree, but the reason I ask you that, if even circular emails are captured in perpetuity, you know, it's there.
Oh,
asking, but you got to know it's there. So.
That's right. Look,
okay.
you know, we've got two components to the FOIA that work together. There's open records and open meetings. If you record a meeting, that's a record. But being able to attend the meeting itself is an open meeting. So you can have a record of that same meeting, which is substantively identical to the meeting itself, other than the fact that it's not logged. Any documents are always records, right? But what is a meeting, as Joey was alluding to earlier, can become somewhat nuanced. And related to the records point, and then I'll come to you, sir, text messages amongst several people can be a meeting, and text messages, amongst other things, personal email, all these other personal communication, Facebook, relating government work is subject to the FOIA, meaning the medium doesn't matter. If you're doing government work on a private email, that's a government record. If you're doing government work on Facebook, I'm not on Facebook, I'm not a 12-year-old girl, so I don't know how to use it. But if you do government business on Facebook, that's a public record. The medium doesn't matter. Yes, sir, you have a question.
Can you request the records for that?
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's a records request, even though it regards an open meeting. So they're two separate components of the same law. It's all under the umbrella of the Freedom of Information Act, but one part is attendance of the open meeting, and one part is the record.
Okay, before we have our Sebastian County process here.